WarioWare, move it! This is the second WarioWare game that I reviewed for the Switch. I thought the first one was alright. It had Wario being sucked into a game. This time he's on a vacation for him and his friends. The strange thing about the story is that Wario really isn't a big part of it. He shows up in the beginning and the end, and the rest of the single player game is just small stories for each of his inconsequential friends. I know that sounds mean, but I couldn't name more than one of them. There was only one that I looked forward to, which was 9V, which has a gimmick which has you play a few seconds of older games. And seeing how he's one of the last ones you get to play, I have a feeling people feel the same way. And that's why they wanted to save him for last. If you've never played a WarioWare game before, they're all micro games, which you need to move into different positions to succeed at whatever they want you to do. This time they start you off by showing you the different position they want you to be in. I liked this. It was helpful knowing what they wanted you to do ahead of time. The biggest problem I had when they were changing the positions is when they want you to hold it by the strap, because I think the creators are massively overestimating how many people still have those things. I'm pretty sure I threw it out on day one. It read my motions without issues, but it did help that the games often needed you to make broad motions, and that buffer really helped make the motion controls not as annoying as you might think. The controls were easy enough for younger children to understand, but the problem is the gameplay is more intense than you might think. They only give you a few seconds to figure out the puzzle of the micro game, and you only get a few chances to make mistakes. This time, if you fail too many times, they're going to give you another chance if you get into the right pose on the screen. It was a good way to keep casual players playing, and if you're going for high scores, you can just opt out and restart back from the beginning of that section. Now, the main story is not that long, maybe a few hours at most. After the game is over, you can unlock a new area to do, but those are more about challenges and how well you actually play the game, and not about new ideas. There are over 200 minigames to experience, and there's no way you're going to see them all in your first playthrough, so you're going to want to replay different people to see their different games. There's also a party mode, which I couldn't test, since nobody wanted to play this with me in party mode. Sorry, I'm sure it was fine. WarioWare, move it! It's just okay. I know that sounds a little mean, but to me this is the definition of just an okay game. It wasn't dull, and it ended fairly quickly. It was very easy to learn, and the micro games were just crazy enough to keep your interest. However, after you see all the games the character has to offer, there really isn't much to replay here, other than getting high scores. I don't think it's worth $49.99. Maybe a little more than half of that. Even better, if you can, you should rent this. You will finish this quickly, as it's just going to be fun for a few hours, and then you'll sort of forget about it. It's not a bad game, just a very average one. So it's one you should get on sale, or if you can, you should just rent it with GameFly.